Hello, beautiful souls. It's Rose with Psychic Readings with Rose, here to bring you your April 2023 Psychic Tarot card reading for the sign of Sagittarius. So my Saggies, my fiery Saggies, we have a full pink moon in the sign of Libra, okay, which is going to be highlighting your 11th house of social networks, your friends, social career clubs, and things you like to do with friends for fun, your hobbies. That's all being highlighted for you this month with this full moon. So let's dive right into it. I think it's very interesting. I'm picking up Libra right away, and for Libra's reading, Sagittarius came into the reading. So I often see you both signs as my karmic justice signs. Libras are all about like good karma and the scales of justice, and Sagittarius is like that same kind of energy, except Libra is being an air sign and Sag being a fire sign. But I do see the similarities between both signs, and I think it's more like on a spiritual level, and that's pretty cool, actually, really, right? So funny also, because the recent past regarding your energy is the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, whether this card is upright or reversed, it's usually more positive in the upright than it is in the reverse. However, I don't view this card as, and I know a lot of tarot card readers will disagree with me. This is an earth sign energy, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, and it can very well be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your environment, in your social group, in your social network, because that's what this full moon is about for you. But it could also be a Libra, okay? And I see it as a Libra card. Now, I genuinely, like I said, I like to see this in the upright, but it's in the reverse for you. So I feel like it can be someone in your recent past who you got together with in like a social networking setting. You realize that this person never brought to the table what you and others were bringing to the table. This person was always taking. I don't think it's a Libra, but I think it's a Libra who's going to be pointing that out to you, or has already pointed it out to you, that there's a certain person, or maybe a few people in a small group, small setting, right, of networking, of friends, of a hobby group, a book club, a social media group, whatever the case may be. It will apply differently for all of you Saggies, but it probably is a Libra that is bringing it to your attention. If it's not a Libra bringing it to your attention, you might have strong Libra placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Stellium, something like that. Or it very well could be that this happens right before the full moon in Libra, that you realize this. So it'll apply differently for all of you. However, I do see this as a blessing in disguise for you, because I feel like with this potluck dinner that's supposed to be an equal giving and taking, right? This card can be a little tricky to me. Sometimes there's a Libra in disguise, and sometimes there's a Libra as an ally. But like I said, with this Libra full moon, friends, allies, good, bad, indifferent, it's gonna work out differently. You gotta let me know in the comments. I'm really excited to hear how this works out for you, because the 11th house is very positive. So we're gonna go with the positive energy. So yeah, I feel like someone has pointed this out, or you're realizing this right before the full moon hits. Whenever you're watching this, the message will apply to you, my Saggies. If you're watching it before the full moon on the 6th or after the full moon, the message still applies. I believe in divine timing, and to me, timing is fluid. So it's going to work out to your advantage. Okay, things are going to be much, much better for you. You're going to find your niche. You have found your tribe, Saggy. You have found your tribe. Probably the beginning of this year, you found your tribe. Beginning of 2023, I mean, you have found your tribe. You have really found your tribe and who you can trust and who you want to negotiate with and who you want to talk about politics with, who you want to talk about spirituality with, who you want to share your lunch with, who you want to have coffee with, who you want to go out to drinks with, who you trust your children around, who you trust your pets around, who you trust around your family, you know, all of that 11th house stuff when it comes to networking, who you trust to do business with. It could be like, you know, somebody that you do business with that maybe you, there's a local metaphysical shop that you go to and you trust the owner and the manager and they don't overcharge you, or where you get your hair done, your nails done, they don't overcharge you, where you go and you know, and for men, where you go hang out, who you go out, you know, to bars with, or you go out for coffee with, you know, that maybe you go out to dinner with a bunch of guys, and you know that one person, you know, is a little bit more trustworthy than the other. And sometimes with men, especially my Saggy men that are watching this, you notice that there's always, you know, men paying the check. There's always one that doesn't pay as much as, you know, it's in any scenario, in a little group, there's always going to be that one who holds on to the money a little bit, a little cheapskate, you know, whatever. But my Saggies, it's not you, it's somebody else. So like I said, Libra is your friend in this energy. In this reading, Libra is your friend. And usually Libra, like I talk about the moon and how I manifest with the moon, whether it's full or moon. And I usually say when we're speaking of justice, whether we have like legal issues or karmic justice, I usually tend to look for the moons that have moon in Libra, or that day of Libra, or the hour of Libra, or Sagittarius. So those two signs for me speak of karmic justice and also of legalities, but mostly of mostly of karma, mostly spiritual justice. When, you know, the rules of the laws of karma and dharma apply very much when we're spiritualists. And if you're watching this, and you are a spiritualist, so in one way or another, maybe you're not, maybe you're becoming that way, and maybe this is why your 11th house is lit up, and maybe this is why you're watching this video. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm getting really good vibes about this, that a lot of you are just diving into this spiritual time, and like a spiritual awakening has already begun, and now you're starting to change your associations and your, you know, who you affiliate with and who you associate with. Maybe it's getting a little bit more spiritual for you, a little more deep, talking about subjects that are really like interesting and you know, food for the brain, I just heard. So that's really cool, right? So in the current position, Sagittarius, with the 9 of Rods. So this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. So I see that my Saggies are being very protective of your newfound networks and friendships and alliance and associations. You're being very protective about it. And you've gotten rid, or you've realized, like I said, Libra is your very good friend this month, energetically, or you know, actually on the earth plane. It could be a Libra that passed on and over the bond beyond the veil. It could be an ancestor or a spirit guide or something like that, or a friend that has passed, a parent or a grandparent that has passed, that is a Libra, that is helping you out, sending you signs from beyond the veil, and you're listening to the signs, you're paying attention to the signs, and you're protecting your nest here. The 9 of Wands is very protective energy, and you're something that you're very passionate about. So it will work out differently for all of you. It could be baseball, it could be a sport, it can be working out, it can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be tarot, it can be astrology, it can be Reiki. The list goes on and on. It could be something that is not spiritual, but you're passionate about it. So whenever you're passionate about something, it brings an element of spirituality into that arena. Okay, so, you know, if you want to dive deeper into this with me, I would love to hear from you. So please check out my about section, and you can see where you can contact me, and we can set up a reading, and we can dive deep into this 11th house manifestation time here, and letting go of no longer what serves you, as far as people, as far as organizations and groups that are outdated, that you no longer feel you're associated with, because you have had this spiritual awakening. Maybe you didn't realize, and now you're right here and you're realizing it, and it's manifesting on this beautiful pink full moon in Libra. Whew, good Saggies. Okay, so I can see that all the protection work that you're doing, and it's always good to do protection work, it's always smart, is going to allow you time for really good quality sleep and meditation. Maybe you're going on a little holiday, 4-day journey, maybe you're doing nothing you're taking 4 days off of work and you're doing absolutely nothing but just watching TV, or maybe you're going to a very remote island that you're going to shut your phone off, or you're going to let it go to voicemail, and you're just going to go within, and you're just going to relax, and you're just going to meditate, and you're just going to be by the ocean, or you're just going to be in a cabin somewhere, depending on where you live. It's where I live, it's always hot, so where you live, it's cold. So maybe you're going to a little cabin and getting cozy and just meditating and relishing in the fact that you have reached new heights as far as friendships and your tribe and who you trust and who you network with. There's been a shift, and some of you are just tired. You're drained. I know a lot of Sagittarius when they get downloads from the spirit realm. Spirit often makes them take a nap. That happens to me a lot. When I get tired during the day, I know I'm going to have like a lucid dream. I know I'm going to receive some type of message or dream, and that's going to play itself out within the next few days or weeks, or sometimes even like a year or two. Like a dream won't even make sense to me for like a year or two. Like I'll be able to oh yeah, that was what that dream was about. And another sign got this, where you need to get a dream book and protect it. Like almost like a diary, like an old-fashioned diary that has like a lock on it. Maybe you cohabitate with people that snoop around, like this little Six of Pentacles person who always brings the crumbs and is always looking for more food, like a little mouse, right? So you have to, your journal is going to be more like a diary. I know I always had a diary when I was little. It doesn't matter, men and women. I think it's important to journal. It's important in our lives. It's important to start, dust out that notebook or buy a new one, and start to journal. I forgot what other sign got this. Maybe if it was Libra, that's really funny. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But you can check out my playlist and see. So yeah, it looks like this much needed rest that you're going to have in the future, because you're working so hard on changing your associations and affiliations, and realizing who's your friend, who's not, and you don't really have to do much, just protection work. It's not so much grounding work you have to do. I would say it's grounding, but it's not here. It's a little different than the norm. When you ground yourself, you ground your energy, like when you do root chakra meditations. But that's not what Spirit is telling you to do here. That's not what my higher self is telling me. That's not what I'm feeling for you intuitively here. It's more about your solar plexus. Saying solar plexus affirmations for yourself, that's really going to actually ground you more with this energy. And I know that's a little weird, but sometimes things are a little weird, and with the 11th house lit up, your things are changing for you in a positive way. So root chakra is always good, but I'm being told specifically to do solar plexus manifestations, affirmations, to ground that way, okay, to manifest that way. And probably because you weren't making the best decisions as far as what you were eating and consuming. Maybe you weren't eating enough vegetables. Maybe you weren't drinking enough water. Maybe you were drinking too much soda or eating a little too much sweets or something like that. And not that you've gained weight or anything. It just made you feel a little bit sluggish. And sometimes, you know, like even if I know sometimes like during the day I really want a cup of coffee. And I know that coffee is going to be full of caffeine, but it's kind of like the pep that I need. So I'm actually going to take a sip of tea right now. Sometimes I go for the tea instead, and I wanted to start this reading off with tea. I felt I needed tea as versus coffee, and I usually always keep well hydrated during the day, throughout the day. It's very important to do that, Saggies, okay? And it's hibiscus tea and it's dandelion root tea, and it just really does something for my solar plexus. It really does something for my third eye. It really does something for my chakras in general, just something for my energy. So Spirit wants me to tell you to do the same thing. Find an herbal tea, or you know, if you don't like regular water, you know, some people don't, go to an herbal tea. If you don't like it hot, you know, put it in the fridge for a while, and or overnight or something, steep it, you know, and then the next day have it throughout the day. And it's really going to improve your state of being, your aura, your chakras, everything, especially your solar plexus. This is a liver detox that I'm drinking. It's going to really help with my solar plexus and detoxing whatever is no longer serving me. And I feel like that's what Spirit is trying to tell you. Because that's bringing you your tribe. Maybe you're going to a local apothecary, a new one, and they have really cool herbs that you're getting. Maybe some of you are getting into being herbalists and stuff, and you're talking about it. And maybe you're on a Facebook group about it, or maybe you're on TikTok about it, or maybe you're following some YouTubers that are into herbs and herbal teas and all that cool stuff. It's actually really, really cool. So I like the vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting a really chill out, laid back vibe from my Saggies, and I love it. So the advice and message from Spirit is to wrap this reading up for you is the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Yes, Saggies. I love to see this in the reverse, okay? I love to see it in the reverse because it means you're healing and you're removing those emotional wounds that you've been carrying around for you for a very long time. And I feel like you're doing that because you're networking and you're associating, you're becoming friends and partnering up with people that are more are like you know, because they're different. And so that's what attracts you to them. And you're in this new way of thinking. You shifted into a new paradigm, and you want to talk about different things, and you want to discuss different things, and you want to dive deep into certain different things than you were. And you know, you're not wanting to deal with those crumb snatchers anymore. Bye bye. And you're protecting yourself through your solar plexus, and you're going to be finding time to rest and meditate and rejuvenate. Maybe get a massage, maybe get a Reiki healing, like a full body healing, or maybe just the solar plexus. You know, like Spirit said, solar plexus. We store a lot of emotions in there too, you know. You're definitely, yeah, this is the ending and the beginning of a brand new cycle, okay? And I know it might be painful to let certain people go, but they're just crumb snatchers. They weren't giving enough. You've been very giving, and they haven't. And my beautiful Libra moon, which is ruled by Venus, right? The planet of love and luxury, is really helping you, Saggies, this month. Really beautiful. It's so nice to be able to trust people, whether it's business or whatnot, you know, whatever you do for a living. It's so nice to trust people and have like these really nice conversations with people. And it doesn't have to be so deep, but when you're if it is a deep conversation, and if it is a controversial conversation, it's easy because the other person is opening and their energy is either higher than yours or a little bit lower than yours. But then when you start talking, your energies start to like really vibe and blend in together, and it's all good. You don't feel all tired and worn out in a bad way, because otherwise this would be a less positive outcome. This looks very positive here. This looks like you're resting to let it go, not resting to have to like revive so much, or like, well, whatever I said about the coffee, I have 1 cup in the morning, and then, like I said, sometimes I just go for the tea, even though I want one so badly in the afternoon. But like I said, changing your routine is really like very beneficial for you this month. Is going to really make you have like the 11th house and the 5th house is always fun. So the 11th house is all about fun. So yeah, let me know how this works out for you. Like I said, it'll be different for all of you, and have a blessed April. So if you've made it to the end of this reading and you like what I had to say and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and like, share with other Sagittariuses, or if you have a friend who has Sagittarius in like their moon or their rising or their Venus, or they have a stellium in Sag, which means many planets, or the lower level houses in Sag, you can share with them. Comment below and let me know how this resonates with you. I would really appreciate your input, and many blessings to you.